Hi, welcome to the live stream. We are, what day is it today? It is Thursday, June 5th, 2025. Here we are. We are at the live stream. Let's just do a quickly, as I do at the beginning of most of my live streams, I'll do a quick week recap so far. Um, what has been happening today? Well, um, what has been happening this week? Sorry, I got distracted there for a moment. Um, I got the record button and the loop set button hooked up to the ESP32 sampler. So that's good. And it's working well. So I'm happy about that. Um, I've also got the record LED and the memory storage indicator hooked up. So those are all working. Definitely a bit of a lighter lift this week, which is really nice because the last couple of weeks have been really crazy with the coding and like with the the complexity of the project. It is, despite the fact that it's like a really short sample time and stuff like that, it's still a really complex project. So I'm happy um, I'm happy to be at the point where I'm at in the project. Next week we're putting in a new microphone. I debated whether I wanted to make like my own microphone module for that, and I'm not really sure that I want to. Um, I think I might just buy like a pre-made module for it. I've got my eye on a couple that apparently are good alternatives or that are good options for it. So I'm gonna probably take a look at that in the next video for the ESP32 sampler. So that's good. What else? What else? What else? What else? I did. I'm happy to say that I did get to the channel has got 300 over 300 subscribers now, which is really nice. Um, Makes me feel good. Makes me feel good, and I'm glad that people are, tuning into the mayhem uh, that this channel can be sometimes. At least it feels like that to me anyway. But anyway, I'm very grateful for people watching the videos and stuff. It's really nice. What else? What else? What else? I've got um, hoping to get another video out this week. I'm starting another um, channel related thing, and hopefully that works out. But I've had a lot of family obligations lately, so I might have to put that video on the burner till next week. We'll see. We'll see. And I've also got an idea about doing another live stream every week. Thinking about maybe doing like a Saturday night beat making session because I've made enough gear now. At least, even with the limited stuff that I've made, I feel like I could, you know, open up Ableton, do a little bit of sampling, and start making some stuff with the stuff that I made. I'm thinking about doing that on Saturday nights, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Um, but yeah, you know, just put a little bit more onto the load, make it a little bit more fun though at the same time, because really at the end of the day, the channel is a music making channel too, not just a gear making channel. Um, so yeah. Anyway, what happened with the VIC-20? Well, if you're not aware, if you're not, if you don't know, um, I did get the video to work. Now, there's a caveat to that. Um, I had to pull one of the 6522 chips to get that to work. Um, So, yeah. So that's something that needs to be addressed because it's either this chip or it's something else, and I'll get into that. So one thing I noticed was in my sort of troubleshooting after the live stream, I just, I couldn't let it go. And so I started messing around and I was just like, man, like I'm not getting anything on the screen, on the Commodore screen. So maybe what I need to do is check the power. So I checked the adapter and I was getting 5 volts okay, which is what is required to like power all the chips and the logic stuff. But then I realized that I wasn't getting what do you call it? 9 volts AC out of the pins on the power brick, which apparently is used for the cassette mechanism, but also it might have something to do with the clocking. Um, I don't know if that's a for sure thing. But anyways, it was still worth chopping up the power supply and figuring out a different power option to power the board. Anyway, so I powered the board with an external supply and I got the garbage coming back on the screen. So, like the real scrambled mess that was on the screen. Um, so that was good. So that told me that maybe the power supply was kind of weird. And yeah, then what did I do? I noticed there was some like black crap on some of the ICs, so I cleaned a little bit and then powered it on again. Still got the garbage screen. But then I read on a forum somewhere um, that somebody had booted that they were having problems with the video on their VIC-20 as well, and they pulled one of the 6522 chips, and it all of a sudden booted up. So what I did was I pulled the chip and powered it on, and lo and behold, it was the proper ready screen. Now, the problem with that is that I'm not sure if it's the 6522 chip or if maybe the socket's really dirty and it needs to be cleaned. Um, so I don't really know what's going on with that. So that's kind of the purpose of this video. That's where I'm at with this video is we need to figure out um, well, first thing I'm going to do is show you the actual screen booting up without the second 6522 chip in. And then what we're going to do is we're going to maybe put the working chip in the non. I don't want to put the working chip in the non-working socket because in case anything is wrong, like anything is messed up with that socket, I don't want to ruin a second chip. But what I'll do is I'll like clean it and see if we can actually get a video signal coming out of it with both of the chips in. Okay, so let's get down to it. And yeah, we'll start really cleaning it. And but first, let me show you how the let me show you the video working. I'm gonna move myself up to the top again. So maybe I'll go on the bottom this week. Let's go on the bottom. I'll go in the bottom here. Boop. Okay. Um, yeah. All right. So um, here's the screen, and let me just turn on my external power supply. This I have a bench power that I'm using for the 5 volts, and then I've chopped up a 9 volt of adapter, AC adapter for the AC signal. Anyway, so what do we need to do? Let's turn on the screen, and so you can see that the lovely ready thing. Ready? Okay. Boom. There we go. So there you go. It does work. It's real. It does actually work. So if I were to put the other 6522 chip in, this guy here, if I was to put that guy in there, it wouldn't, it would just be a scrambled output. So what we're going to do is we are going to disconnect the power again, and I am going to use some contact cleaner all over the board and just start really getting rid of all the extra stuff. Oh, thanks, Joe. Yeah, it's been a it's been a real journey so far, you know. Um, but yeah, so I'm gonna start cleaning everything, and hopefully a little more contact cleaner. Maybe we'll get all the crap out, and then we'll see if we can actually get this thing to power or display video. Um, with the second 6522 chip in. And if not, I'm probably gonna have to order another one. But that's where we're at right now. So I'm just gonna actually take the camera that is facing the monitor right now and put it up top so you guys can see everything that I'm doing in terms of cleaning. Um, it's nothing fancy, but yeah, um, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Hopefully, hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get it to work with both of the chips in, and then we can test out the keyboard and all that kind of stuff and make sure everything's working as it should. Okay, so let me just move my camera back up top. I definitely I definitely need to get a third camera for this kind of stuff, you know? Okay, cool. Let me move this out of the way. I'll power everything down. All right. Oh, I did if you've been following along too, I did get a new fuse. Um, for the AC part of it. Interesting thing about this version of the VIC-20 that I found out in researching this repair is that the AC, the 9-volt AC from the power brick, only goes through the is only the fuse only is only used for that AC line, not for the 5-volt line, which is kind of really weird to me because you would think that they would have circuit protection on the actual chips, you know, but I don't understand why that's the case. Um, yeah, but that's how it goes. So, anyway, so I got my contact cleaner, my usual run of the mill contact cleaner, nothing fancy. Um, yeah, so I'm just gonna start. This is the, I'll just show you here. This is the socket in question. So we'll see how that goes. It doesn't look corroded or anything like that. But you never know with these things. And here, let me see if I can get a good look at. If you look at that chip right here, this one right here, you can see there's like some black schmutz on it. And I don't think it's anything like it's anything bad. It's just buildup of, on the flux and stuff, I think. But always good to just kind of like remove that stuff. And so I've got my contact cleaner and my toothbrush, and I'm just gonna clean some of those and then clean the socket, and and then we'll see if we can get this thing working with both of those chips in there, and then we could be in like a really good situation where we can actually start making sound. Hopefully the sound works. Hopefully the sound works. But then we can start making some sound with this thing and do all the cool stuff that I want to do with it. So yeah, let's go to town here. Start. Let's start doing our cleaning. So hopefully this works. Just gonna do a little bit of everything on here. There's a lot of buildup on this. um, on this board. Like I didn't really take a, I should have taken a better look at it, to be honest with you, when I started this whole thing. Like it, I just kind of looked for like leaking capacitors and stuff. I never thought to look at the pins for the ICs. Like, that's really shows that, the signs of age, right? So hopefully this works. If it doesn't, we'll order another chip. It's no big deal. I found a modern replacement for it that's readily available. It's about 20 bucks. So that's not too bad. I'll probably order a couple of replacements. I did do some looking into how that there is a couple slight differences between this vintage chip and the new model, but it seems like it's not going to be that big of a deal for the application that I want to use it in. So we'll be happy to get that sorted out. So anyway, let's get some more contact cleaner on here. It's looking pretty good. The nice thing about using contact cleaner is that it evaporates very fast. So I still have to wait for stuff to dry, but you know, it's not too bad. But I'm going to put some more on these chips. These look like there's some sort of gate, probably controlling some kind of like logic level stuff. So I'm just going to douse these guys a little bit and then start scrubbing on it a little bit. Try and get some of this stuff off. So everything works as it should. Brand new. Well, newish. But if this doesn't work, I'm thinking I'm gonna probably take out all the other chips that are in here that are socketed and clean those. Maybe that'll do something, you know. Um, but yeah, it's interesting working on this thing. I never thought about cleaning all this stuff off. Like, I mean, I knew that it was important to clean it, or keep it, clean, but never really thought it would really affect how things work. So, make it it was so be so sensitive kind of thing. Hmm. Let's try this again. Let's do this one more time. Really give this one a good clean. I was also looking into for cleaning this stuff. You can also use like a fiberglass pencil or a fiberglass pen. Um, but yeah, I just figured I'd try this first. It's contact cleaner, so all right. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah. Well, I just don't know how much I need to clean it. Maybe I'll clean the actual chip too. Can't hurt, I guess. Right? So maybe I'll put a little bit on the toothbrush and then just go over the pins. Go over the pins real quick. Try and get this thing working, you know, with both chips. That would be a really pleasing. All right. Okay. All right. Well, that socket is clean. Um, I'm thinking. Um, I'm thinking we could probably try plugging it back in. See what happens. Okay. Just because that other stuff isn't really coming off. So, okay. Let's how should I do this? Okay. I think there's still some residue on there, so I'm going to hold off for a minute. Excuse me. I'm going to hold off for a little bit. I do have a little piece of 800 grit sandpaper here. Um, I might try just going over those pins that still have some stuff on there, still have some buildup, just to see. I mean, if it comes off, great. If not, you know, it's no big deal, I guess. Um, and I'll just be really careful because I don't really don't want to sand too much, but I'm going to use a little tiny piece and see if we can just get some of the remainder off of there, while this thing dries off. Because I really don't want to, obviously don't want to plug it in with any residue on there. Or residual, sorry, not residue, but this guy, right? We want it to be nice and dry. Okay. I'm going to have to kind of get in the way of the camera a little bit, I think. Um, I'll do my best to kind of leave it so that you can see. Yeah, it's definitely taken a little tiny bit off, and that's all we really want, right? Like we don't want to sand the board. We don't want to sand the PCB, right? We just want to get rid of that extra layer of stuff. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Now it's shining up a little bit. We just want to make sure that connection is nice and nothing is getting in the way of that connection, right? So we're just going to clean it up a little bit. It's hard to see in this light for me, but excuse me while I just adjust it a little bit. Okay, let's see. That's not bad. Let me try this one, see if I can. See if I can get it going. It definitely makes a huge difference using just a little bit of sandpaper. Just like takes that extra layer of stuff off and hopefully really restores the functionality. It's looking pretty good. I'm really happy that I found that post about the 6522 chip because I was afraid that I was going to have to go out and buy a nice new oscilloscope, which I need anyway, but don't really have the cash for that right now, you know what I mean? So, okay. I think this is actually pretty good. Very, very pleased with that, actually. Use the tiniest bit of sandpaper just to get on there and get rid of all that stuff. Let's just see here. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's get the let me do this. Okay. Let's you know what? Why don't I just try powering it up right now? And if it works, I'll bring the camera back down. If not, I'll yeah, I'll leave it up here so that we can continue doing our thing. Um yeah, my thought is we'll plug the 6522 back in, right? And then if that doesn't work for whatever reason, um we will start doing the other sockets maybe, and then we'll go from there. I think that's yeah, I think that's probably the best plan of attack at the moment. Let me just go over these pins real quick. Just make sure everything's nice and clean, you know, for the socket so that it really makes those connections. Get all the junk off there. Hopefully it works. Would make my day. Would literally make my day. Okay. All right, so we're gonna plug this guy back in. So we're all the sockets are in. Okay, there we go. We are in. Okay, both 6522s are in. Let's plug in the um, video cable. Okay, and plug in our power. Okay, monitors on. Let's turn the external bench supply on. And then, fingers crossed. It worked. Holy crap, it worked. Oh no. Interesting. Okay, let's do that again. And let me show you what happened. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab my camera here. Forgive me. Okay, let's get this down here. Okay, so it'll autofocus. Okay, so I've got both chips in. Let's power it on and you can see what happens here. Okay, so before, um, so interestingly enough, what happened before I did this was the connection, it seemed to, it went to the normal screen, so it said ready and everything, and then it went like weird. It went like boop, and then powering it up again got the scrambled mode. So that's telling me that it's a connection somewhere. Yeah, I won't do it again, of course. So, okay. Okay. It's interesting, you know, it's I wonder if that's the case, then I should be able to put the other 6522 in this spot. But again, I don't want to screw it up. So I'm thinking we need to, I'm going to take out any socketed chip that I have on the board with the exception of the new one that I installed the other day. I am going to take them out and just clean those sockets and hopefully that sorts us out. Um, it very well could sort us out. So let's try it. because it's not going to cost us anything to do that. Um, and yeah, it could very well work, right? So I think we need to keep going down this cleaning route and see what happens. So I'm going to put the camera back up and we're going to start taking out some of the other socketed stuff. Maybe even try cleaning that chip again, the bad chip again, and see what happens. So let's do that. Actually, you know what? While I'm here, you know what would be interesting is I'm going to try pulling the other chip, the working chip, and powering it up and see if that restores it, because then we know that it might be a chip down the line, right? So let's do that. Let me unplug it. Okay, so let's get this guy out of here. So this is the working, I'm pulling out the working chip, or at least the one that allowed the computer to boot. Okay, so that one's pulled. Okay, I need to clean it anyway. So worst case scenario, right? So let's plug this guy in. We're going to power it on again and see what happens. Okay. Okay. So we know it must be related to this chip. Why don't I put the broken chip in the good socket and then boot it up and see if it boots up? Because then we can say, okay, the chips are good. It's like a connection somewhere or potentially a chip further down the line. Okay. Actually, shoot, I should have unplugged it. Oh well. Okay. Well, I've unplugged it now. Okay. Let's see if we can get it working. Come on. Oh, these chips are a real pain to get in. Okay. So the bad chip is now in the good socket. So let's see what happens. If it's still a scrambled mess, then we know it's related to the 6522, this specific chip. Ah, interesting. Nothing at all. Huh. Okay. Okay. Interesting. All right, let's get the good chip back in and make sure we didn't fry anything. Let's see if this will work now, because then we could be in a real pickle if we're not working at all. Okay, let's try this again. Here we go. There we go. Okay, so it's something related to that socket for sure, right? Potentially could be the chip. My gut is telling me it's the chip, you know? Um, Maybe I'll try cleaning the chip, specifically the chip, and see what happens again. I'm just going to do it real quick while I have the thing down here and see if we can get it to work. Um, while I have the camera down here, I'm just going to do this just so that you guys can see, like, actually testing it, especially since we're in test mode. There is some stuff on there for sure. So it might just be stuff built up on the pins. Hmm. All right, I'm going to unplug it, unplug it, and then I'm going to do some more contact cleaner on here. Just while I have it down. Just going to do a quick scrub while I have it down here. when it came on like that, it tells me that it might not be the chip, that it is just like a connection somewhere, right? Hmm. Okay. Well, could be the socket, but putting the chip in the good, putting this chip in the in the good socket tells me that it's more than likely the chip because they're the exact same thing, right? But let's just see. You never know. All right. Okay. Let's try putting this back in. Try booting it up one more time. And then, yeah. If not, I might have to order a new chip. Okay. Here we go. Let's try one more time. Yeah, it really doesn't like that chip. It's really not liking that chip now. Nothing. Blank. Interesting, eh? And if I take it out, oh, boy, I had the video disconnected. Guys, oh my gosh. Classic. Try this one more time. We'll try the chip one more time. Boy. Okay. Let's unplug it. Okay. All right. Here we go. Holy crap. Okay. Okay. We get it. We get it. You're not happy. Okay. Well, thinking I'm gonna try cleaning a little bit more and see if we can get it to work. That socket is clean. I mean, I can't imagine doing any more cleaning on that. Doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm gonna try doing some more cleaning farther down the line and see if we can get this thing working. So I'm gonna put the camera back up. Excuse me. All right, here we go. All right, let's do some more cleaning. All right. So I'm gonna start pulling these socketed chips and start cleaning those. I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss, of why this isn't working. But yeah, if this doesn't work, I'm definitely gonna um just order a new chip. It could just be that. Could be a bad chip. Hopefully, it is just a bad chip, and that'll be it. Okay. There's not that many of them, so this won't take very long. I'm just gonna go over it, you know, nothing crazy. Just go over it with a little bit of contact cleaner, sandpaper, just a little tiny bit. Nothing wild. Um, yeah. Hopefully it's just that. And we'll be working. I'll be very disappointed if I have to delay this another week, but what are you gonna do? All right. That one's back in. I'll do the CPU next. This is the 6502 CPU. It's the same. Use this microcontroller in a lot of different devices back in the day. Nintendo being one of them. Nintendo Entertainment System. Anyway, all right. Those are pretty clean now. They don't look that black anymore. I don't know. I'll wait for that. Let's get these guys out and see if this. Just do all this stuff while I'm got it up, got it open, and then I'll do the video. I'll do the video chip last. Shit, I need tweezers. Last thing I need to do is break a pin on this thing. I think these are just basic ROMs or whatever. I don't know for sure what the chips I'm working on right now are actually for, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. They don't look dirty, but we could, you know what we might do is I might plug in the keyboard anyway and see if it registers with the one chip in. If it doesn't, if this doesn't boot it. So we'll try that too. Why not, right? So this one's there, this one's there. I really hope it's not the chip that I replaced before. That would be a real bummer. Okay. I wish I had some compressed air to dry this out a bit. It's okay. I think this is okay now. Okay. Let's do this. Get these guys back in. And we'll do the video chip. And then, yeah, we'll try powering it on with both chips. And if that doesn't work, then we will order a new chip. Okay. Here we go. That one's in there. It's good. Okay. Get these guys back in there. Don't give me a hard time. There we go. There we go. And this one. Crap. There we go. Okay, and then I'm just gonna do the video chip, and then we're good to go. We're gonna try it out one more time, see what happens. Crap, I almost broke that pin. That would have really sucked. Okay, yeah, I gotta stop taking these out, man. Real. I gotta really stop fiddling with this thing. You know what I mean? Okay. 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 I'm just gotta wait a minute. In the meantime, everything else looks good. Maybe let's go over, just get rid of some of the dust and shit. I don't know. Might work, it might not. If it doesn't work, we'll order a new chip and hopefully that works, right? And I don't know. I know this one needs a little love too. All right. Okay. There we go. That's good. This is all good. All right. Let's do this again. So hopefully it works. If it doesn't, we're ordering a new chip. Trying to do as much as I can without buying a scope. So there you go. Okay. All right, we got our stuff. Let's grab our phone. Let's grab our phone here. Get it back down. See if anything interesting happens when I boot it back on. Okay. Here we go. Jumbled mess again. Jumbled mess again. Oh man. And I really don't want to put the working chip in the bad socket, or at least, you know, because like if it screws it up, I really don't want to have to replace two of them. So here's the plan. Okay. Okay, let me get back on screen here. Okay. So what's the plan? Okay. So we cleaned it. That didn't work. Okay? Um that didn't work. No big deal. So here's the plan. It's going to cost me 20 bucks to put in a chip, a modern chip to replace that 6522. Worst case scenario, um, I'm out 20 bucks because it's something else, right? Then I have to, at that point, I need to um, scope out the lines, I think, because it's likely further down the line. So, um, I think for today, we're going to leave it there. Um, yeah, man, this thing's a real thinker. Um, but yeah, I think I'm gonna have to leave it there for today because you know, without having a new chip, um, you know, it's hard to say whether it is that or not. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to leave it there. Anyway, just wanted to say thanks again for everybody who has been watching the videos and stuff. It's awesome. It really is. It means a lot to me. It's great. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video and, you know, hopefully we'll get this thing working soon. But we know that it works, technically. It's kind of. So, anyway, at least we got to see the ready, you know, we can see the ready when we want to, which is nice. But, yeah, that's what we're going to do. So, anyways, until next time, until next Thursday at noon. Next Thursday at noon, I'll see you. I'll see you there. All right. Thanks for watching.